Am I going to look in the Old Testament or the New Testament?
Oh.
I'm going to look in the New Testament. So if I'm looking for 2 Corinthians in my New Testament, is that going to be towards the front or the back of my Bible? So I'm going to look towards the back of my Bible, and I know if I'm looking at 2 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians must be close to another book. Alright, so I see 1 Corinthians, I'm in 2 Corinthians, and it is before Galatians. So I'm in 2 Corinthians, and I'm in chapter 9. And then I'm in verses 6 through 8. Now, so when I look for these verses in my Bible, when I find 2 Corinthians, I'm going to first look for the chapter number, which is going to be a little bit bigger and bolder, and we'll look for the verse numbers, which are a little bit smaller. Alright, now, this verse is still in my Bible, but I want to read it up here, so we can all read it together. Now, remember this, a farmer who plants only a few seeds will get a small crop. A what kind of crop?
Small.
A small crop. But the one who plants generously will get a generous crop. Now, you must each decide in your heart how much to give, and don't give reluctantly or in response to pressure. For God loves a person who gives cheerfully. Gives how?
Cheerfully.
And God will generously provide all you
need.
Y'all are paying such good attention. Then you will always have everything you
need
and plenty left over to share with others. 1 Corinthians 9, 6 through 8. So when we look at this verse, we've got Paul, and he's writing to a church in Corinth. A church in where?
Corinth.
And now, the thing is, right before this verse, Paul had just complimented, and he told that church that they were such good givers. They were such good what?
Givers.
They'd already given generously and cheerfully to other things. But now, what happened was that in Jerusalem, there was this big famine. And so if there was a famine, there was no food in Jerusalem. And so the church in Jerusalem, they needed help from other churches who had enough money to help them out. So he wrote to the church in Corinth and he asked them to give generously so that they could help the other church in Jerusalem. Now, when we look at this verse, Paul first starts talking about a farmer. Talking about a who? Farmer. Now, when I think of giving, I don't normally think of a farmer. But let's think through this, okay? So let's pretend that I'm a farmer and I'm trying to plant some flowers, okay? Now, so let's just say, like at first, a farmer who plants a few seeds, just a few. If he just plants a few seeds, is he going to grow much? No. But the one who plants generously, and also when we look at this generously, we can probably think of cheerful. So if he plants generously and cheerfully, he will get what kind of crop? A generous crop. So he is going to get lots and lots of
flowers.
This farmer is, because I brought flowers. So because he planted generously, he's going to get a lot in return. You know, when we give cheerfully, and we give to others, and we give to God, when we give generously, you know, we get a lot in return. You know, when I gave to Sarah, I got something back in return. I got joy because I gave to her. I got her to smile and say thank you when I gave to her. You know, when we give to others, you know, it's not just we're giving something away, but we also receive something in return. We receive joy for giving to someone. We receive their thankfulness. So we need to remember, you know, when we give to others, not just giving something away, we receive a lot back in return. And so now, when we do give, we shouldn't give, when we decide how much we should give, we should decide from our heart. And we shouldn't give reluctantly or to response and pressure. You know, some people, when they think of giving to God, they just feel like they have to give because they have to. Is that being a cheerful giver? No, it's not. Because Paul says, for God loves a person who gives cheerfully. When we give, we should remember, we should be happy to give. Because, you know, a lot of us, we are so blessed. What are we?
Blessed.
We're so blessed. You know, when we give to this Operation Christmas Child, you know, we can share the blessings that we have with other kids who aren't as blessed. So God has given us an amazing opportunity to give to other people who aren't as blessed as we are.